Welcome everyone to the Artifact class challenge for the Windwalker Monk. This fight is against Tugar Bloodtotem and Jormog the Behemoth. You have to kill both of these in order to succeed. And generally, once you beat Turog, Jormog's pretty easy to just finish off. So I'll show you what I did and I'll go over the tactics a little bit just to help you through it. So you pretty much start off just by attacking Tugar. You can mostly ignore Jormog. And Tugar has his ability called Fell Burst. It's a cast time spell. You pretty much just want to kick this every time it's up. If your kick's off cooldown, then use Leg Sweep instead, but usually it'll be available. Every so often, Jormog is going to do a Sonic Screech. I had a macro set up to target him and cast Paralyze on him, so every time he did this I would quickly paralyze him, and I had a weak aura to help facilitate that just so I'd know it was coming. Every so often, Tugar will go into the second phase where he spawns these Bellspear eggs. These will hatch into these little worms if you don't kill them fast enough. Generally I like to save Storm Earth and Fire for this phase, and pop that and just try and go in with Spinning Crane Kicks and my Energizing Brew, just so I can spin a bit more and make sure they die before they hatch. If they hatch, they just spawn into little worms, and the worms put some green patches on the ground, but the worms die pretty fast as well, so if they do hatch, just finish off the worms and continue as usual. During this phase it's easy to get distracted by the worms and not notice that Tugar is casting, so be vigilant about that. Maybe set up some sort of aura so you can just give yourself some kind of noise or something when he's casting, just so you don't let any of these Fell blast through because they do one-shot you. During this phase, Jormog knocks these scales down onto the ground, and he just sort of moves around underground, and you can tell by the rumbling earth. You want to try and lead him into the scales here. Every time he hits one, he loses 1 stack of a buff he's got. And this buff starts at 9 stacks and reduces damage he takes by 10% per stack. So by the time Tugar dies, you want to have knocked off all 9 stacks off of Jormog, just so he takes full damage in the last phase, otherwise it can take a little bit long. The other ability you'll notice here, which continues on through all phases, is this sort of green X. And it just erupts into these pillars. Very straightforward, just move out, you have a lot of time to do so. Another type of ad that summons are these Fell Totems. These will cast a 5-second stun if their cast is successful. However, they only have 2 HP, so if they're close by you can just run over and smack them. If they're far away you can just target them and zap them with Jade Lightning and they'll quickly fall over. Pretty much the objective of those totems is to distract you from interrupting the boss, so be vigilant about interrupts. I think the number 1 cause of death I had in this fight was always with the interrupts. There's no real DPS check, so if you want to save stuff like your Fists of Fury or Strike of the Windlord for when the eggs come, it's a pretty good idea. I was doing that every now and then. Once Tugar's dead, you can move on to Jormog, and he'll start casting the Screeches more frequently, so you won't be able to hit every one of them with Paralyze. Additionally, it's a little bit buggy, and he's actually not attackable with Fists of Fury, just because he's like kind of off the platform, which is very, very frustrating. Generally a good thing to do is paralyze the casts until he's on DR, and then you can stun one of them to let his DR reset, and then the next time round you can let one through and then karma the next one to heal yourself up from the previous hit, and you just rotate your paralysis in between these. Basically if you kill Tugar, it's mostly a free kill by this point. In terms of the gear used, I'm 905 equipped, and I have 40 artifact levels. Legendaries, I used Predaz. If you have Predaz, I would definitely recommend using it here because the Absorb Bubble does a lot of work, and it lets you focus more on just dealing with mechanics rather than worry about your HP pool. If you don't have Predaz, you probably have to make use of stuff like the heal from Transcendence and picking up the orbs that the totems drop, but with Predaz that becomes very trivial and you can mostly ignore your HP total. The other legendary I used was the Empty Drinking Horn cover, just because it's a solid DPS legendary. Anything would really fit in the slot, but that's what I had, so that's what I used. Overall, it's not a very difficult challenge. If you can make sure you're interrupting all of the Fell Blast casts on Tugar, then the rest of the mechanics are pretty straightforward. A lot of the stuff won't one-shot you, even if it does hit pretty hard. So interrupts are paramount, and if you can get that down, then the boss should die shortly after. In total, this fight took me 12 attempts to deal with, and I would say at least 10 of those were dying because I missed an interrupt. So I can't emphasize enough, make sure you interrupt this. If you do, you'll have an easy time. Thanks for watching, and good luck getting your artifact skin.
This changes nothing. The Legion will prevail. I'm here. I'm ready to... What's this? Tugar has fallen. You had all the fun without me. With Tugar gone, the Bloodtotem should present less of a threat. Even so, I will keep an eye on those treacherous fiends until their Legion masters are defeated. Your Kirin Tor have given me one of their portal crystals. No doubt they will be pleased to hear of your success. Many thanks, hero. We will meet again.